All right, so okay, this is gonna be a quick video, y'all, or try to make it quick. All right, so I am not a member of Scientology or the Nation of Islam, but I have respect for the Nation of Islam, and I have been to a information session through Scientology once. Okay, so this is what I got to say. The other day, I was watching, YouTube. This has been a while, actually. It's been a few months. But just recently, I was watching YouTube again, and it brought this in my mind, and I want to do a video on it. Louis Farrakhan has recently decided to implement or to take some of these Scientology principles and implement them in the Nation of Islam. And I think that's very, very terrible. Ugh. I think it's just so terrible, y'all. It's just so odd to me. I can't believe that this is happening. I can't believe I'm not a Muslim, and I just can't believe that he actually is doing this. I can't believe he's doing it. And this is the reason why. Scientology is a huge church. You all know this. They're a huge church. They have a lot of power. They have a lot of money, a lot of influence. Many celebrities go there and worship there. They spend millions of dollars every year fighting litigation. Going after people who are proponents or opponents or opposition of the Church of Scientology. And they completely try to annihilate anyone who's against them. They do this by affecting what comes up in Google searches and different search engines. They have all kinds of lawyers that go after people who say anything against them. They have sued people who have made comments against them. So we're going to see what happened with this video. But from my experience, Scientology is very, very deceitful. I had a really good friend of mine who was um who is a member of the Church of Scientology. And if my friend sees this video, I want my friend to know that I still care for you very much. I just felt like I wanted to just voice my opinion about Scientology, despite your decision to join and be part of this church. Still much respect and love between you and I. This is completely outside of our friendship. Um, but Scientology, my friend first joined Scientologist. Um, my friend was out of work and having a lot of having some emotional issues with that and a few other little small things in their life at the time. Had a lot going on. Needed some support, could use extra support, and I felt Scientology kind of came along and provided that for my friend. Scientology offered my friend a job and training for that job. Scientology offered my friend counseling through their programs they have there. And my friend, felt that it met all the needs that they had at that time. The problem is that Scientology completely consumed my friend's life, like every single day, working late hours, working early hours. I mean, just completely living there almost. And I just could not believe it. I'm like, I want to spend time with my friend. I can't because you're always there. And it's just like, do you really want to be there? And I really didn't understand it. They took in and they would do this training, the training for the actual job. And as you guys know, we all have jobs. On the job training, it may take 2 weeks, maybe a week, maybe a few days. But with Scientology, the training went on and on and on and on. My friend was never told when training was going to end. It was just like, it ends when it ends. It ends when you're ready. And so it just go on and on and on. And in my mind, this training really was just, brainwashing for the job. And you wouldn't be released from that brainwashing until they felt you were sufficiently brainwashed in order to go out there and continue their work with other people. And to me, that's just really dangerous. That's just come on, you brainwash. I mean, so my friend, I asked my friend, this training is way too much. Why don't you just quit? Why don't you just quit this training? Say forget about it. You already made some money through the training. Just go ahead and leave and move on. Find something else. It's too much dedication they require from you. And my friend was informed that they decided to leave treatment, or to, well, not leave treatment, but to leave the training at that point. They will be responsible for paying back money for all the treatment, the other training that they already received. So they're going to charge you for your own training if you decide to quit in middle of the training. I have never in my life heard that before. I have never heard that for any job. I understand how they can probably do that, but I think it's really deceitful and underhanded, especially considering the fact that the training with them is not a set time. It goes on and on until they feel that you have sufficiently been brainwashed and they can release you. Okay, so my friend, was stuck going there and has been there ever since. Um, I didn't like that. Then, um, I had a relative of mine who was incarcerated, and I wanted to help them get some psychological help. I felt my relative had some issues, and I would love to see that any kind of prison ministries where they were at to help them while they were in prison. Psychologically, emotionally, being in jail is like, terrible. When you leave jail, it's like having PTSD, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you really need to get support. And so I was trying to provide that for my relative. And the friend of mine recommended me to this organization. I went online and Googled them and read about what they were about. And of course, they were a Scientology organization, which I wasn't happy about. But I continued to read on and see what they were about, and it sounded really really good. It was doing great things, and it had, apparently a good success rate. The truth of the matter is, though, is that it's basically a conversion tool for them. It's not just giving help altruistically. It's with some kind of gain coming their way at some point. They are going to get membership, more people who are loyal to them. The one that I read, the program that I read, the way that it works is that they take people who have inmates, criminals, whatever, and they tell them that in order to I guess be free of what you've done in the past, you've kind of got to go back and atone for it in a certain way. So basically outlining all the things you've done wrong, and actually dealing with each and every one of those things, which could take a long time, right? Especially if you got a long rap sheet, and in atoning in a certain way. Who knows what kind of way they want to do it, but the way it seemed to me as I was reading through it, it seemed like a very long process, a very long and strenuous process. And that told me right there that this is clearly a conversion tool. This is a tool they're going to use to bring you in the door and keep you in the door and keep you wanting their help. And not only that, but this is a way they can easily get all your secrets. Your secrets, what they'll use against you if you ever decide to leave. I've gone online. I researched this church. I tried to warn my friend about joining the church. They made their own decision. Um, it's helped my friend in many ways, according to what my friend tells me. Um, but to me, I'm still not happy with what I've seen, and not just from my friend, but from other people too. There are websites that are dedicated to discussing this issue. So I really don't understand why Louis Farrakhan would seek out this group. Of all groups, he would seek this group out. Why not go and get some clinical psychiatrists or some social workers if you thought your members needed help? Why not? I mean, just it just seems odd that he would reach out to a known cult, pretty much, and try to get help for his members through that. I remember when I was watching the video with Louis Farrakhan, he actually was discussing that their contract. Scientology has a 1,000-year contract that some of their members have to sign as they, I guess, grow in the organization. And he was proposing this same type idea, excuse me, um, for his members. What? A contract? I mean, it just sounds crazy, and so I don't understand that. Anyway, but he actually was proposing a contract for his members, and so I really don't understand what people are thinking to stay there and to allow yourself to be just misled like that. I mean, this is a cult. This is a cult that spends millions of dollars every single year protecting its name and fighting people who say anything negative against them. This is a church that has all kinds of celebrities who are there. I mean, I could go on and on and on about things that I've read about Scientology that would raise a red flag with me. I'm just one little person. This is Louis Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? He should know better. His judgment is either completely off, or he's senile, or he is out for the money, straight out for the money. Because I could really see Scientology seeing the black community as a cash cow. We have churches on every corner. We love the Lord. We love the Lord. We will pay the Lord our tithes. We'll give our last, and there are a lot of people in the church, in our community, who do that. Also, the many of us who are in need of psychological help, who have emotional baggage, you know what I'm saying? And a church like that would use that and exploit that. And I feel, and even not even that, but a lot of us are seen as having disposable income. We always stay fly. Even if we dead broke, we still look good. Hair looking right, shoes looking right. Ain't got a pot to piss in, but still yet you look like a $1,000,000. You know what I'm saying? And for that reason, I think they probably see us as disposable income. Scientologists suck their members dry. I've seen it. I'm sorry, but I've seen it happen. And although it may be some good that can come out of it, the bad, in my opinion, outweighs the good. And I would never, when I was there, and I was a part of the little info session that I was part of. I It just kept going on and on and on. The info session, it went on and on and on, and I was just like, when are they going to end this thing? You know what I'm saying? And what they were showing us was not any kind of like epiphany for me. You know what I'm saying? It was just information about how you can control your mind, your thoughts, and your actions, and all that kind of stuff. To me, it seemed very much like psychiatry, of what I have learned in psychiatry from my limited knowledge of psychiatry, somewhat. Um, but what I've seen it sounded very much like psychiatry, and yet I've heard that they are very, very against psychiatry. They oppose psychiatry because of the past practices that they've had. So to me, it seemed kind of contradictory that you guys would oppose psychiatry and psychology, yet many of your methods and your terminology and your the ideas you guys expose are very psychological in nature, very close to that you hate, apparently. So it seemed to me a little bit like maybe that was competition and they didn't want. Who knows, but I truly want to just warn people in our community, be very careful. I fear that the Scientologists are trying to infiltrate the black community through our black leaders. I think not only Louis Farrakhan, but also Al Sharpton was reported to be attending a few sessions at one of the Scientology centers. And to me, that's very disturbing. The last thing the black people need is another master we have to serve. The last thing we need is another church to give money to, another leadership to bow down to. We need to be our own leaders. And we need to stop being indoctrinated with all this crap. If you have issues in your life, you need to seek out, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. No one's saying you gotta take medication. No one's saying you gotta tell them all your business. You gotta just discuss some things. You control what you talk to people about. Um, get your needs met in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go seek out a church or some organization that's going to use you and suck you dry. Um, and Louis Farrakhan, I'm completely. I don't support Louis Farrakhan in any way at this point. I don't support him. I think he is. I think he's gone over to the dark side. We already heard that he apparently was the one who was involved in killing Michael X. You know, and this is the kind of thing that somebody who is that kind of corrupt nature would do. Because there's nothing that good can come out of this for the Nation of Islam. Nothing good. If you want to have people who are independent thinkers and who are self-sufficient, linking them up to something like this, a cult, is only going to hurt people. It's going to hurt generations, and I would hope that they're not trying to hurt the black community in the result. Because I could really, what they do is they always set little centers up everywhere. They little centers up. They set little help centers, and I could really see them, reaching out to us in some way that might sound helpful to us. Maybe offer us a job, offer us opportunity that we don't always have, training or whatever. But be very careful what you take into your sphere, into your mind, into your life. Don't be so quick to just allow anyone to lead you. Ask questions, and not just of religions, but everybody, everything. Be someone who asks questions and make them, accountable for things they say and they do, and question things. Don't be so easily led, it's truly a sad thing, but the world's coming to an end, right? So I'm like, come on, end it now. I'm tired of this crap. I'm just kidding, but really though, guys, we have to really stop being so easily led in our community. And I remember back in the day, I used to buy Final Call magazines. I used to buy the Bean Pies, and now I'm just like, I just can't believe that they're being led down that road. I've seen it. I've just seen it before, and I would hate to see that happen in the Nation of Islam. I think I was reading some the Final Call online, and they were talking about how a few of the sisters had gone over to one of the Scientology centers. I guess they're starting out by sending the women first. I guess the women are more vulnerable, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I really, really feel like we as black people have got to be more savvy when it comes to things that are proposed to us, marketing to us, all those things. Don't be so easily led, black folks. Ask questions, you know, question your leadership. Don't just be a blind little sheep, just going wherever you're led, because clearly they'll lead us down to anywhere if it makes them money or gives them influence. Louis Farrakhan says it's going to help his membership. I don't see how it can help your leadership. This is a cult. I mean, do a Google search, Farrakhan. It's not hard to find. It's all over the internet. But I'm gonna leave it at that because it is what it is. But take care, y'all. Peace.